Hi friends, myself Vivenkar Chaudhary and here I want to explain Young's double slit experiment in the presence of glass slab. It is third part of the Young's double slit experiment. If you don't watch previous two parts, I have given links in the description. Please watch. Before getting into the experiment, I want to explain some terms regarding the glass slab. Geometrical path is the actual distance traveled by the ray in a medium. That means if a ray passes through a slab of length d, then the geometrical path covered by the ray is d. And optical path means the distance traveled by a ray in vacuum taking the same time it travels in a given medium. That means if a ray travels in a glass slab of length d, consider it taken a time t to travel this length, and if we consider another ray which is traveling in vacuum taking the same time t, it covers more length than this length d, because velocity in vacuum of light is maximum c equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second is maximum velocity when compared to velocities of rays in any other medium. So in light, in vacuum, the ray covers some distance more than it covers in a slab. So here the distance covered in vacuum taking the same time it traveled in any medium was called as optical path. And we know that as here this distance d is called as geometrical path. Then due to the optical path, consider two rays. One ray is traveling in vacuum and another ray is traveling in a glass slab. Due to the second ray travels in glass slab, they created a path difference delta x, and this path difference delta x, first we have to derive optical path. L equal to the distance equal to speed into time, and we know that speed of light in vacuum is c, and the time taken is we know that time equal to distance by speed. Consider the velocity of ray in this medium is c1, so we can write time is equal to d by c1, and we know that c by c1 equal to refractive index of the medium, so we get the derivation of optical path as L equal to nu into d. Then here the path difference is created due to the glass slab. That means the path difference is equal to delta x is equal to, we know that optical path, we have derived optical path equal to nu into d. That means nu into d minus d, which is equal to nu minus 1 of d. This is the path difference created due to one ray traveling in a given medium and another ray traveling in vacuum. Then consider the YD Young's double slit experiment. Consider these are two slits and it is a screen placed before it. As the two rays intersect here, this to be at here point any maximum or minimum is found. If the glass slab is placed here, glass slab of thickness T is placed here, then that we know that actual, that means geometrical path difference. That means we have know the formula y of n equal to delta x is into small d by capital D by small d. Therefore we can write path reference is equal to y of n small d by capital D. This is the actual path reference between these two rays before placing the glass slab. So the initial path reference is y into small d by capital D. Then after placing the glass slab here, consider we know delta x up to here the path difference, initial path difference. Then the ray travels here to here this distance. Here the second ray in vacuum travels with more speed. That means it covers some more distance, and additional path difference is created by this glass slab. And we call this path difference as optical path difference. As we proved in before formula, optical path difference delta, we consider it as delta x dash. We have got mu minus 1 into d as the optical path difference created by glass slab. Then the total path difference created is total path difference is equal to, adding both, we get yd by capital D plus nu minus 1 of, thickness t we have to use, because there also exists a small d as distance between the two slits, so we have to use t here. That means delta x is equal to y small d by capital D plus nu minus 1 of t. I want to drop this. This is the formula we have got. Consider for nth maxima, we know that the path reference will be n lambda, and substituting here we get yd by capital D plus nu minus 1 of t. Taking n lambda, taking y only here, these two we get nu minus 1 into t equal to yd by capital D. Taking y only here, these two to this side, we get n lambda capital D by small d minus nu minus 1 of t capital D by small d equal to, here in the previous, that means original Young's double slit experiment, we have got the position of nth maxima as n lambda capital D by small d. That means this is the original position, and there is a shift in the position due to the glass slab, which is equal to nu minus 1 into t capital D by small d here, and we call the shift as fringe shift. There is a new term here, fringe shift, and we written it as delta. The fringe shift created, that means in the interference pattern, the central maxima will not appear in its position, it will appear downwards or above. That means if there are two slits, if we place glass slab below, the central maxima position will comes down. If we place upward, the central maxima position will move upward. That means the fringe shift here, we can write it as fringe shift is equal to variation in the positions of the maximas is equal to nu minus 1 of t capital D by small d. And if we consider number of fringes shifted, that means fringe width shifted, that means delta by beta is equal to nu minus 1 of t capital D by small d by lambda. We know that fringe width is equal to lambda capital D by small d. On cancelling both, we get number of fringes shifted is equal to nu minus 1 of T by lambda. This is explanation of Young's double slit experiment in the presence of glass slab. We have got the new term fringe shift, and which is equal to nu minus 1 T capital D by small d. Then I want to explain some important points regarding Young's double slit experiment. They are the shape of the fringes formed on the screen. The shapes of fringes formed on the screen is hyperbola. That means the fringes formed on the screen is in the shape of hyperbola, and if YDSC, that means Young's double slit experiment, is conducted in any other medium, then fringe width decreases. That means we know that beta equal to lambda capital D by small d. That means if all the distance are constant, we can write it as beta is directly proportional to lambda. We know that velocity of a light in a medium is directly proportional to the wavelength of the light. That means lambda is directly proportional to velocity of light in that medium. And we know that refractive index of a medium is inversely proportional to the velocity of light in that medium. So we can write as nu is inversely proportional to C. From all these 3 points, we can write it as beta is inversely proportional to refractive index. That means fringe width decreases with the increase in the refractive index of the medium. Thank you.